in that symbol? Yeah, go down to the ones place, right? Okay, so what until the ones place so we can determine it was equal. Number two, what is the formula we would start with to find the area of that rectangle? The formula we would start with to find the area of that rectangle. Abby? Area equals length times width. What then would our second step be for that, Abby? 7 times 6, giving us an area of what? And it was square inches because we were talking area. Thank you. Number 3, 5/8 minus 1/4. What do we need to do with that before we can do our subtraction? What do we need to do with that before we can do our subtraction? Yeah, Jonathan?
We need to find one number 8 and 4.
Okay. Is there anything sooner than that? 32 is a common denominator. Is there anything sooner than that? Eight would be much sooner than that, right? Okay. If you use 32, you can still get the same answer, but we want to try to use the least common denominator. That means 1/4 needs to be changed over to 8s. How many 8s?
3.
Not 3/8. 2/8. So it'll be 5/8 minus 2/8, which gives us 3/8. So Jonathan, if you use 32, you would have to reduce it down to 3/8 in the end. Okay? And number 4, 26% as a decimal. What did you have for the decimal? For the decimal? 2,600. Good. Number 5, you should have looked for groups of what? 10. How many groups of 10 did you find? 2, making it 20 plus another 5 gives us 25 for the sum. Number 6, what's the lowest terms for that fraction? Katie? Pardon? 3/8. Good. Number 7, are those triangles congruent? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're the same shape and size. Number 8, any canceling that can be done? I skipped what?
4.
No. It was 2,600. Who gave us that answer? I'm going to say Ezra did. No. Number 8, is there any canceling that can be done? Any canceling?
No.
Who said yes? What canceling did you do? You can divide 2 and 8 by 2. Yeah, 2 and 8 by 2, yes. 2 and 8 are both divisible by 2. They have a common factor of 2. When we multiply across them, what do we get, Kaylin? 1/20th. 1/20th. Number 9. 40 degrees above 0 is an example of a positive integer. How many of you had true for that? That is definitely true. And number 10, 110 milligrams. How would you write that in grams? In grams. Nobody write it in grams? Not quite? Not quite? Not quite? 1100. 1100. The decimal point would move over 3 places. 3 places. Okay, 1100. Questions? All right, please get that recorded and put away. As we take a look at our answers to page 667, you're simply asked to count how many cubic units made up the volume. Number 2, how many cubic units made up that volume?
20.
20. Number 3. 16. 4. Evan? 5. 8 and 6. And 7. We were comparing. What would our sentence be?
6 and 4.
What?
6 and 4.
So what would the whole sentence be?
6 unit cubes is greater than 4 unit cubes.
Yeah, 6 unit cubes is greater than 4 unit cubes. And number 8?
5 unit cubes is equal to 5 unit cubes.
Yeah, 5 unit cubes is equal to 5 unit cubes. Any questions on those? Yeah. 7 unit cubes? Anybody? I was hoping that page took you, maybe 2 minutes? 3, 4, I don't know, but, and it didn't take you long to count, is that correct? Okay. Hey, Mary's like going, this is down there. Number 1 on page 668. How many blocks are in our figure? 9. All right. Number 2 shows 18 unit cubes. How many different rectangular prisms can be built if he uses all of the cubes? Ezra. Not 3.
5.
Not 5. Not 2. How many does he have? 18? 18. All right. So, you can build one that is one, oops. Oh, yeah, we have to get cubes. You can build one that is 1 by 18, right? Yes? You can build one that is 2 by 9. Yes? You can build one that is 3 by 6. Can you build any others? Build any others? Yes, you could. Two by, let's see. I could actually build it with 2 by 2 by 3, couldn't you? 2 by 2 by 3, couldn't you? Couldn't that happen? If there are, does that work? 2 by 2 by 3? Yeah. That give us 18? 2. 2 by 2 by 3, I'm not sure I do it right, but 2 by 2 by 3? Nope, that's not 18. How about 2 by 3 by 3? How about that one? 2 by 3 by 3. How about that? That picture's wrong. We do a 2 by 3 by 3. Let's try that. 2 by 3 by 3. Can we do that? That work?
Yeah.
2 by 3 by 3? 9 on each layer? Yes?
Yep.
Okay, there's 4 of them.
All right. Oh. There.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, number 3. What shape are the lateral, or what are the shapes of the lateral faces of the pyramid? They are triangles. They are triangles. Number 4. The Arnold family arrived at the beach at 10:30 a.m. and spent 3 3/4 hours there. What time did they leave the beach?
4:35.
Ooh, nope. Nope.
2:15.
A.m. or P.m.?
PM.
PM, yeah. You have that PM with it. And number 5, the opposite sides of a parallelogram are sometimes congruent,
Always.
always congruent, always. Otherwise, it's not a parallelogram. And number 6, the tire on Frank's bike moves 75 inches in one rotation. How many rotations will the tire have to make after Frank rides 50 feet? How'd you come up with that? Question. All right, let's take a look at the next piece, which was on page 673. And here you were using the formula volume equals length times width times height. Length times width times height. You weren't just counting the cubes here. So if we take a look at number 2, we do volume equals length times width times height. The length being what? The width being what? And the height being? The volume then being? 48 cubic? Cubic inch. Okay. Questions on the steps? Yes.
I was on the 660 on 105. I got asked about triangle.
Any questions on this? Okay. Similar steps in for the others. Number 3, what did you find your volume to be? Eduardo? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Cubic what? Number 4, what did you find the volume to be? 100 what? Cubic centimeters. Number 5. This had a volume of what? Dante? The one on the left had a volume of what? What did you have?
60.
Huh?
60.
60 cubic feet. The one on the right had a volume of what? 60 cubic feet. Therefore, they are equal. What questions do you have on those? Anybody? And then number 6, we had boxes with edges of 4 inches and 12 were in the carton. What's the volume of the carton? Peyton? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. No?
768 cubic inches?
Yes. Because the boxes themselves were 4 by 4 by 4, right? Right? And then there were 12 of them. Okay? And number 7, we looked at the volume of each prism. What was the volume of Matt? Yeah.
The volume of mass was 40 centimeters, 40 cubic centimeters,
And Mindy's?
40 cubic centimeters? No, 40 with an inch.
Yeah, mass was 40 cubic centimeters, Mindy's was 40 cubic inches. And again, we use the same formula, volume equals length times width times height. What questions do you have for me? Any? Anybody? Let's turn our books into page 681 then, please. 681 is a review of what we did on Friday. We talked about finding the volume of rectangular prisms. With the bottom layer, we find the area of that, and then we talk about the height being how many layers we have. Any questions on that? We use rectangular prisms, and that's what we start out talking about. It's that same basic concept as we take a look at other other prisms as well. We also talked about just looking at each individual cube and counting all those up, and that's what we did with our pictures. And that becomes labor intense as we look at bigger and bigger pictures. Plus, in reality, as we look at the real world, we are not going to have little pictures of cubes sectioned off. So instead, we start looking at what does that really mean? Well, it really means that if we know a measurement across for the length, we know a measurement back for the width, and we know a measurement for the height, we can use that formula, length times width times height. And we can start using fractions and decimals as well, because we won't always have whole unit measurements. Okay. So again, if we use pictures, we can easily count, but we need to start thinking in terms of what are those measurements, not just can we count cubes. All right? So we're clear on where the formula comes from, length times width times height. All right. Then let's turn to page 687. And on 687, we're no longer going to be seeing sections cubed off, where we actually see the cubes within it, where we could actually do some counting. Instead, we're just going to be given measurements, and we're expected to use the formula volume equals length times width times height. Okay? But again, we need to understand that that simply meant that that's how many cubes went across, back, and up. Okay? And it's not just some mathematician sat in his little lab and came up with that formula. That's where it comes from. How many cubes fit in there. Okay? We're going to stick with using our formulas and our substitution and simplifying steps, one underneath the other, not marching across a page, but one underneath the other. Okay? So when we take a look at this rectangular prism, we would start out with volume equals length times width times height. We don't even need to use the multiplication sign in there because we know that if we put the variables right next to each other, We know that means to multiply. So you don't even need to put that multiplication sign in there. Okay? So we look at this. The length is considered to be the longer side, so we substitute 7 in. The width would be going back, that 5. The height would be how tall it is, that 3. The order at which you multiply these is not important. In your head, on your paper, wherever you do whatever makes the multiplying the easiest for you. Because we have the commutative and the associative property that allows for that. Okay? You need to focus up here, not on him or him. So I don't care if you do 7 times 5 or 7 times 3 or 5 times 3. That part doesn't matter. It's whatever works best for you. So go ahead and do that multiplication and come up with your volume. So once you've multiplied all 3 of those together, what did you get for your volume?
105.
105. And now we need to take a look at the label. The label. What would our label be? Cubic inches. Good. Any questions on that? So as we take a look at the examples on the next page, it's all of the same, all right? Volume equals length times width times height. I want to go down to example B, though. Example B. Example B is a little different. We know that the volume is 60. We've been told that. So 60 goes in for the volume. We know the length is 5. We know the width is 4. We don't know the height, so we put H in for the height. Question? Okay, hold on a minute. So our next part is going to be 60 equals, and we're going to need to multiply the 5 times 4, which is 20, times the height, And here's where we solve our equation. To undo multiplication, we need to do what? Division. So we would do 60 divided by 20 equals 20 times H divided by 20. Because remember, whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other. And 20 divided by 20 is 1, and 1 times H is 1 times H is H. So we're left with H over here. And 60 divided by 20 is 3. Our label for that is going to be what? Centimeters, because it is the height, not the volume. Okay? So if one of these pieces is missing, we can still solve for it, just like we have solved equations earlier in the year. Does that make sense? Questions on that? Eduardo?
Why would you equal 28?
Because it was 20 times H. H was our unknown multiplication part, were the factors. We multiply length times width times height. We don't know what the height is. Okay. All right. Any other questions on that? Anybody? Okay. Get out your whiteboards.
Yeah. No. Okay, now that too.
Well, I was signed into this.
Stop being disgusting.
My bird was serious.
Oh, number board froze.
Yay. Oh, it's working.
My bird was serious. I have no colors.
All right, well, that's coming back up. Let's see if you can find it. I had it all set so we could just play it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But we also need to.
On 691. 691, please look there. Two through six. And 692 all. Go and get started on that while I am getting the smart board back into the smart lane. Make sure that you use the formulas when you're looking for volume. I'm looking for those particular steps.
I guess its name doesn't. I guess its name doesn't go with its actual name.
Okay, it's ready. Okay, your what? Your whiteboards are for you to use your work on. Okay, so you're going to start with the formula volume equals length times width times height. So go ahead and put that formula up there now. And then you don't have to rewrite that formula each time. You just have to use that formula each time. All right? But you will need to get logged into Kahoot. Okay?
That's the same as ours.
I can look at that, I did that. Um, Abby, turn this one. That one. Next time, just have to. Nope. Who's not in?
Miss Allen. Right.
Who's not in? Okay, here we go. Get to show your work before you do any pressing of your choice for answer. Yep, 9.0. That help at all? Move up. Just into this corner here, Ava. Oh, wow. You guys are gonna be a little quicker on your multiplication.
I'm on the podium.
There we go, next one.
This is better.
What? What?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's more question.
That was not fair.
Miss Allen, can you at least put the board on screen so if we don't get to put it up there, we still get to do the whole thing? Can you make it a million?
Okay, let me say something here. Could you have not done, what was it, 8 times 4 in your head or something like that? And just done one multiplication problem?
Not that fast. I was doing it.
Huh. Freaking out. And you only get this one, hurry up.
Okay. Where's that?
At least five. Yeah, Dante's the only one that's going.
Oh, here.
What? Huh? Ma'am? Oh my God.
Come on. No, come on, this should be an easy one. Let's go.
Oh, wait, it's seven.
Oh, yes, Anyways.
I didn't get guys, I taught you how to do these.
I didn't get this picture.
3, 5, and 3, right?
Oh.
3 times 3 is 9 times 5 is 45. That means it's only one of these two answers, right?
Oh.
I couldn't even choose one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times we have to multiply by 10,
I
right?
didn't even choose one.
I've worked with you guys on this stuff all year long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times we multiply by 10. Right there it is. Kaboom.
And do my little one.
Oh my goodness. Goodness, stay alive.
She disappeared. Catholic. Oh.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
What's she doing? Her homework for a couple of weeks? What's she doing for homework? How is it later this time?
Yeah.
That's what I did. Okay. Times 10, we only have
I was close.
1 placeover, right?
Yeah, you get 250. You get 250 for doing 25 times 10.
That makes sense? Now, 9 quarters. 9 quarters. 8 quarters is $2, right? So 9 quarters are $2.25, or 225. Times 10, move the decimal point over 1. 2,225. Or 2,250, sorry.
Wait, it's already over?
Eduardo. All righty.
Hey, I've never done a second one.
Hey,
Okay, and back to your assignment. Make sure that your I Learn from Class 7 from this week gets turned in so that I can be starting to check answers or corrections for this week. Evan, turn the lights on, please.
I've been flying.
We got 10 seconds on that one.
I've been
29 to say about it, correct?
Okay, let's focus and get our assignment done, please.
Wait, this is due Wednesday.
Yes.
$50.
You know what, I need to post the assessment topics, don't I?
Yes. 10?
Let me post that.
I have to.
I'm not good.
All right, well, let me interrupt you for 1 second for the assessment topics. Characteristics of polygons, fraction, addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and multiplying, dividing with decimals. Do you have questions for me on that? Oh, looks like we can back it up. Your eyelid papers, if you've done anything on those and you've graded it, you can go in the tray and not put it in the classroom folder, it's not in class. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Girl, just try and answer. They are very right. You got I like mean art. Hang on to my. Oh, and they get to spray you, Eduardo? Oh, I hurry. Oh. Have a good day, Eduardo. Oh, who else their stuff? Abby? Who sits there? That's not Abby. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Who? Audrey is in front. Who sits behind Audrey? I can't remember now.
Why are you in the closet?
I'm good, I'm good. Caleb, that's the second guy. You sound pretty good.
It's an Adrian. This is what children do when they're almost Oh, no. Yeah, thank you.
I just couldn't, I just did that for you. I got it on this one. Is it on this one? The P91 is the beginning of that. Not gonna go through Make sure your Friday papers are out ready for me as well as your assignment. Huh? Huh? Okay, I'm doing this twice. Doing the math twice, and I'm doing this twice. Okay, we got a timer. This is what you're watching now. What? What's that much? This is how, yeah, be like, seven, oh. And Go. So did you look for the other paper down here? Work on it? So you need to do that. You've got to have. See my folder I didn't get to? Thank you. All right.